Hey guys, Edward Halterman, Office of the Pacific. So today I'm not going to get into some big production video thing, but
Halimoto, 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 don't let go, don't let go, Halimoto, Halimoto, 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 Daniel-san.
man, I'm tired. So of course, guys, I don't have this on film. My camera, somehow I pulled out the USB on the power source, but look at this halibut I just got. That is a nice fish. I don't know what it's probably 15 pounds or something. Nice fish. Right on. So hey guys, I'm sure glad I got in the frickin' tube today. Nice freaking halibut. Okay guys, there we are. We're right at 34. I got a 34 incher on the Blacktail Chinook 5.0 hook. So I am super happy. Hey guys, so in that previous video, I caught that halibut on my split shot rig. So I wanted to share that with you guys. So I flew all the way to Lima, Peru to shoot my halibut split shot rig video. Just kidding. Anyway, awesome place. Hey Anthony and Carlos, thank you for coming up with the split shot video idea. I should have thought of it myself, but I did not. So thanks for pushing me to do a video on this. It's a unique style that not a lot of people use, so pretty cool. What a beautiful place. So the great thing about fishing the split shot technique for halibut is you can use it under any circumstance. I mean, you can fish it from the beach, you can fish it in the river mouth like Santa Ana, Bolsa Chica, you can fish it in the bay, you can fish it from a float tube, you can fish it from a pier, you can fish it from the beach, you can fish it from the kayak. It doesn't matter. It works great under any circumstance. Now, well, not any circumstance, I take that back. Like if you're in a boat and you're drifting, obviously you don't want to be using a freaking split shot because the drift is going to lift it up off the water. In that scenario, you definitely want like a dropper loop or one of those sliders. I forget what you call it. Not the Carolina rig. There's this little plastic slide they have at Best Fishing Tackle where you attach the torpedo sinker to it and it kind of slides, kind of the same way a Carolina rig works, but you can have more heavy weight on the bottom. So anyway, yeah, so this halibut split shot rig is awesome. So I'm going to share it with you guys, give you something else in your arsenal, some more tools of the trade to clown some fishes. Halimoto, Daniel-san! Yeah, the fish are just freaking off the hook here. There's so many halibut. And these fish here are just, they've never been touched, ever. Like, gosh. I should have brought my freaking rod and reel. What a dumbass. Look at this right here. Tell me that wouldn't be good. And you don't want to swim here. I guess the rips are super, I mean, they just freaking kill people. Really dangerous, so I won't be doing that. Anyway, I'm not a swimmer anyway, so. Alright guys, so some of you were wondering about my setup, so I'm just going to kind of show you what it is right here. So, there's my split shot. And that is my Chinook 5.0 Blacktail fishing hook. They're the best halibut hooks I've ever freaking used. They're just stellar. And then here, this is my split shot. It's about at 30 inches as you can see. I use the number 2. I think that equates to a quarter. Then I got these that I'll throw on sometimes depending on current. These are number 5s and they're probably like, I don't know, an 1/8 ounce or 1/16, I'm not sure. But sometimes I'll even throw 2 of those on. Another tip I'll share with you, I use the Line 30 on these halibut. I go up to 40.
I don't really care. Yeah, 30 is pretty much what I use nowadays. But halibut don't care. They'll eat rope. If you look at some of the old pictures in Redondo Beach and whatnot, those guys used freaking like hangman's rope to catch them. It was a joke. So they're not line shy. Same with sea bass. You know, you don't have to use any light line on sea bass. It's BS. You know, fish like corbinas or whatever, yeah, I get it. But halibut and sea bass, never fish them light line unless you just want to. So, because they got teeth and they'll break you off proper. So, I fish heavier line. Okay. Being blind sucks. Shit. Don't show that to my dentist. He would not be happy. Okay, Blacktail 5.0 to the triple exciser line. That's about 30 inches. Number 2 split shot. Just a light pinch. I mean, you don't gotta crank it. So, there it is. My halibut rig. So the split shot rig, this is a unique rig and I've been using it forever and it works for me.
Hey, so yeah, Salty Beard A7X Mark Quinlan uses the same split shot rig and people think he's crazy. Well, hey Mark, you ain't crazy, dude, you're smart. So, nice. I think we're the only ones that are still using that rig. Although Doug Lowry and Doug Tilk are the guys that taught me the split shot rig for halibut. So props to those guys for teaching me that whole setup. Appreciate it, guys. You guys have helped me whack millions of fish. Probably that's an exaggeration. Okay, hundreds of fish on that rig. And it's awesome. Thanks, guys. He's another one doing it. He sent me a message the other day and said, dude, I'm using that same rig and everybody thought I was crazy. No, it's great. It's totally something different. Everybody usually uses like the Carolina rig or the dropper loop, and those are great. I'm not going to bag on them or nothing. The halibut split shot rig is just my own personal preference. Not that it's right, it's just I like the feel of it. It's different. So, you know, dropper loop basically sets the hook for you. Really no feel to it. You just freaking straight line. Carolina rig has feel to it, obviously. You got to know when to set them up and this and that. And there's no resistance to the fish because there's basically got your line on swivel, right? So in a sliding sinker, so there's no fish resistance. Now mine has basically like, I use a number 2 split shot, so that's basically like a 1/4 ounce. And it does provide a little bit of hook set because it's resistance when the fish actually bites. So it does have that little weight resistance against it, so it kind of sets the hook for you in a way. At least that's what I think in my mind. Not that that's right, but that's what I'm thinking. So
I do the split shot for a lot of different reasons. One of them is with a split shot on there, like a 1/4 ounce, the bait seems to be more natural to me, and I like the fact that it has a little weight, so when the halibut bites it, even that little tiny weight will have resistance, and it can kind of set the hook in a way, you know, before you actually do your hook setup. Another thing I don't do is I don't really swing too much. I kind of straight wind and lift the rod tip up. For me, that's the quickest hook set. I feel like if you really jerk it or whip it, I think the line in the water is kind of like a whip reaction, and sometimes I think you actually kick the hook out. So I don't do that. But anyway, of course I use the Chino 5.0 Blacktail hook that I've been using for years. I fish the J hooks on my live bait, which most people don't do because they use live bait hooks specifically. But in my opinion, this is better because these are thinner wire, and I think it keeps the baits alive longer. So these Blacktail hooks, I've been using them since, I think another video I said 30 years, but it's been more like 25. I think like I started in 93. I'm not sure, I'll have to look it up. But these are just, they're stellar. And like I said, these are thinner wire, so I feel like these keep the baits alive longer. If you ever look at those live bait hooks, most of them are really thick. And I think that deteriorates the bait, especially, you know, if you're fishing a dropper loop or any of that kind of stuff, or a heavier, actually like a heavier Carolina rig slider or something. Well, I don't know, but anyway. So I use Isoline XXX 30 is pretty much what I use. Sometimes I'll go 40, but a lot of areas I'm fishing around kelp and everything, so if I get snagged or something, I want to be able to break it off. So 40s, I can still do it, but it's pushing it. Now halibut are not line shade. They could care less about your freaking line, so no matter what anybody tells you, it's BS, okay? And Redondo, they used to catch them on rope. If you look at some of the old videos, they got freaking rope. So whatever somebody tells you about, oh, you gotta fish them 10 pound. That's all I got to say about that. Anyway, let's see here. We got, you gotta put my goggles on here. Let me show you something. Yeah, so split shot wise, I use the 2s basically. And I think these equate to 1/4 ounce. Depending on current, sometimes I'll throw 2 of those on, or I'll go to the, I think these are 5s. Or I'll throw one of those on. These are like a 16th or an 8th. I'm not sure. I don't know why they don't just put the freaking weight on these. They've always been so like stealth about it. I don't get it. But anyway, I do about a 30-inch leader, so the bait kind of sits up like this. You don't want like a 4 or 5 foot leader because the halibut, sometimes they could move to see it, but it's better if it's kind of in their face. So if you're passing over the fish, yeah, it's cool. And so the other thing about these split shots is, like, especially like on a float tube, I'm kicking against the current. So a lot of times when I drop my bait down, I control the drift. Even if there's current and there's wind and everything, I control it. So it's really cool because I can drop straight down and just kind of work an area and slowly kick around and, you know, let the smelt do its thing so it's more natural. So I don't know, I like that style for me personally. I think it's awesome. So I've been doing it for years and I've had real good success with it. Now if I'm out on a party boat, I'm not going to fish a split shot for halibut ever. So I do dropper loop on the sport boats. But for me, something about the split shot setup, I just love the feel of it. Like you feel the whole experience of fishing. Like, you know, you can feel your bait kicking. You can feel it when it's getting excited and a fish is coming close to it. And then of course when you get bit, it's like a halibut. I call it the thump. So sometimes they're on the bottom, they just reach up, grab it, and lay right back down. And that's, your rod goes like that. Thump, thump, thump. And then nothing happens, and all of a sudden the fish takes off. And so I usually give it a few seconds. Sometimes I get too excited and I just try to load the rod. I like lift it, and when it loads up, I just crank on it. Other times I'll give it like 3-4 seconds and I'll wait, and then sometimes the fish will take off, and then it's game on. Now sometimes these fish will short bite, so you'll think you got a fish on and you'll load up the rod, but it's actually just latching onto the tail. But it's like a pit bull, it doesn't want to let go. So I'm sure you guys have heard me say that before. So you're fighting this fish and all of a sudden, ping, and it's gone. Well, you just never had it hooked. So I don't know, a lot of times on the smaller fish, you know, even up to like 24 inches, they'll be finicky sometimes, but I found these bigger ones, like, you know, 15 to 35 pound fish, there is no doubt in their freaking mind. They just inhale the damn bait. There's no finesse, there's no, I'm gonna get the tail and I'm gonna like screw around and mess with this fisherman. No, nothing like that. They just freaking pretty much inhale it. I mean, yeah, I've had some that haven't, but very rarely. So, yeah, I think that about covers everything.
So yeah guys, this split shot rig is really freaking awesome and I'm proud of it. It's a unique rig for halibut fishing and it's just spectacular. So I recommend it to anybody that's fishing halibut and you want to change it up. I know a lot of guys use the dropper loop rig, which is great. The Carolina rig is pretty much the standard, which is great too. But I like mine and I'm used to it. I like the way it feels. I like the way the smelt reacts with it. It's just a totally different vibe, totally different feel. So check it out.
Halimoto, 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 don't let go. Don't let go.